Good morning, good afternoon to some of you. Thank you all so much for coming today. This is a webinar about CamiCare, a non-wearable fall alert solution. So thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. And so why don't we get started? So say hello to Stephen Dudley. That's who I am. My name is Stephen Dudley. I am a marketing manager for CamiVision Inc. So I've been in the caregiving service, providing service for others for quite some time. I proudly served as a primary caregiver for my grandmother for almost 3 years. She ultimately lost her battle, but it turns out to be one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. And that kind of transitioned me into my work with the I Am Fine service. I was with them for over 5 years. And I actually spoke at the 2019 National Village Gathering in San Diego. It was an absolutely incredible experience. Got to meet a lot of wonderful people and something that I will cherish. I was able to go with my wife and we had a lot of fun. So thank you for that, actually. I joined CamiVision Inc. in November of 2020. And I'll give you a little bit more background about the company in a little bit, but here's a little bit of the. So I started with just a little about me so you guys could get to know me just a little bit better. And then we'll introduce CamiVision Inc., who is the provider of CamiCare Fall Alert Solution. We'll go over the problem, which is, we all know, is the fall problem. It's a big global problem. And we'll go over our mission as CamiCare and what CamiCare Fall Alert System actually is, so you could get a better understanding of the value it can bring to you of a solution like this. Then we'll go over the steps to and why you should join the pilot. And then we'll take some time as well at the end to go over any questions that anybody has and make sure we get all the information that you guys needed to get started. All right, so introducing CamiVision. In 2017, launched Cami as a consumer brand where we sold directly to consumers, which is also our software side of things. That same year in 2020, we achieved more than 6 million phone app downloads. We have something like 6 million devices in 1.5 million homes. So we have a lot of people using our equipment to feel more secure, provide peace of mind. And that's really part of all of this, is to provide peace of mind. In 2021, we'll launch our first elder care pilot launch, which is what we're discussing today. All right, so the problem, we've discussed this, we probably all know a little bit about the problem, right? And some of the statistics. And as we know, the aging US population is growing. By 2030, the US population is expected to be almost 25% for those, or 20 for 65 and older. And by 2050, that statistic is supposed to be 25%. So we have an incredibly growing, active as well. I think it's growing active people that want to stay at home. Every 20 minutes, a senior in the US has a fatal fall, which is incredible to me. And every 13 seconds, a senior is treated in an ER for a fall-related injury. As we see it, there is a lack of a reliable and affordable fall alert solution that can be adopted very easily by seniors or our aging population. All right, so our mission with CamiCare is keeping you or your loved ones safe in their home. And that's it, really. That is the overall mission and goal for the CamiCare Fall Alert System, is to help people age in place and keep people safe. So we're an in-home solution that is affordable, advanced technology. So we're introducing advanced technology such as AI into your home that is also, again, affordable, easy to use, and easy to install. That is our mission. We want something that is easy to use easy to install, and has advanced technology that is also affordable in an in-home solution. So here we are. What is CamiCare Fall Alert System? So CamiCare Fall Alert System is a vision-based smart sensor, which is actually constantly passively monitoring you. If it detects a fall, so it's a sudden and an unexpected fall, then we send an alert via our mobile app to your care circle, which is your people you choose who you trust. It could be your family, friends, a neighbor, anyone else that you trust to be part of that care circle. We also have two-way audio communication as part of as an extra feature. So they can use a very helpful two-way audio feature to check in. If there is a fall, you can check in to provide peace of mind, see if it requires extra attention, and just kind of be there for your loved one in a real capacity where they can hear your voice and understand that help is coming quickly. That's really another goal, is bring attention to the fall as quickly as possible. There are a lot of adverse health effects related to people who fall and have to sit there waiting for help for a very long time. So the quicker you can get to that person, the better it is at mitigating the long-term effects of that fall. So the footage that is completely secure, nobody has access to that footage but you or anybody you allowed to have access to that footage. All right, so some of the key benefits of CamiCare Fall Alert System. Seniors do not have to wear an uncomfortable gadget nor remember to charge them. I think that's a big problem that people face, is remembering to wear it. They may not have it on all the time. If it is charging, then you can't wear it. So you don't have a solution constantly. It does not require anyone to press a button if there is a fall out when a fall occurs. So again, it's passively monitoring you. And if it sees that fall, that's when the alert's sent out. There doesn't require a pressing of the button to initiate that alert. Sometimes people are unable, if they are even wearing it, to press that button because of the severity of the fall. So this way, there is passive monitoring. When that fall occurs, the alert is automatically sent out, immediately sent out, and then help can be brought much quicker. Keeps your care circle up to date with senior safety. I think that's a big advantage of our system, is the ability for loved ones or anyone in your care circle to feel more comfortable, feel like they're up to date on your health, and not really your health, up to date on if anything were to happen to you. I think this is also a really big advantage of our system, is there's real-time video event confirmation. So we have pre and post fall identification. You will get an understanding of the event that led up to the fall. Say they tripped over a chair. Well, we probably should move that chair. If there is some sort of rug or something that you see that they're constantly maybe getting snagged on, time to replace the rug. So those pre and post fall video events help you understand the whole event and then make adjustments to better suit your loved one or your own home, to say, okay, this is what I need and this is where I need it to be able to mitigate my fall risk. And again, one of the key benefits is it's an affordable and simple to set up at-home solution. All right. 5 easy steps to peace of mind. These are the simple steps that you would take to get yourself set up. It's very, very easy. So how it works, we would send you the required sensors to cover your areas of concern. All you would need to do is download the Cami Home app mobile app from your Apple Store, your Google Play Store. We have a desktop app as well. And then you pair your sensor with the app. All this takes less than 5 minutes, and there is in-app instructions to walk you through the entire setup process. And again, the whole pairing, downloading the app, takes less than 5 minutes. Once you have everything paired and set up connected to your internet, you would place your sensors in those areas of concern. We recommend 5 to 8 feet up so you can get the most area of coverage. And again, it's really up to you to decide where you want those areas of coverage that you feel are most at risk. Once you've placed your sensor, you got everything set up, you choose your care circle. And again, that's completely up to you who is in your care circle. It's neighbors, friends, family, someone that you trust. Because of the seriousness of that alert, you want someone you trust that you know is going to be of service. And I found in my time at I Am Fine, we also had care circles that people are more than happy and are willing to participate and serve in your care circle because it brings value to them as well. And then from there, you get to enjoy the peace of mind of having a constantly passive monitoring solution watching you and detecting a fall for that serious an event. All right, why you should join the Cami Care pilot. Peace of mind, peace of mind, peace of mind. That constant passive monitoring is so important. It really does bring a sense of security that you don't or really feel or may not feel with some of the other solutions that are out there, because they're active solutions. They require some sort of action on your part to initiate that alert to your care circle or to get help. With us, it's passively monitoring and detecting that fall. Quick response in a real-time event. That is so important. As we touched on earlier, there are a lot of negative adverse health effects as a result of a fall if someone is laying for a long period of time. I've actually seen it before, and it's very sad. So there's quick response to that real-time event. Again, you get to select your own care circle, the people you trust. And that brings the people you trust will be there for you. Contribute to a meaningful program to help others age in place. The information that we get from this pilot will be vital for us in improving our system and making sure that our solution is the best solution out there and the most comprehensive, so that people feel safe and secure in their own home. Again, neighbor, friend, family, caregiver for your care circle. This pilot program is at no cost to you. The fall alert system provided by Cami for free. So we will send you all the sensors, walk you through the steps to get you set up, and it will cost a thing to you. It's a short pilot. I think that's a pretty good, we're not asking too much of your time. Max 60 days. There will be 2 feedback loops that we ask of you once a month, 15-minute phone call just to kind of go over just everything. We want to know everything, all your feedback, ease of use, accuracy, anything that you feel can help us better this solution to maximize its potential. And then there is absolutely no obligation to continue after the pilot finishes. No obligation whatsoever. So if at the end you decide that it's not right, you're not ready for it, it's not quite for you, that's okay. All right, how to join the Cami Care pilot. You would contact me, Stephen, at camivision.com. And all we need from you to get you started is the name of the participant, the age of the participant, relation to that participant, or if it's for you, self, and then the location. Region is fine. We don't want your exact address, just kind of the region that you are located. And then your phone number so we can reach out to you and get all the steps. We can line up everything we need to get you set up for the pilot program. If you need any information at all or curious about this system at all, for further information, please go to camihome.com/cami-care. And we will also share this, this webinar with V2V so they have this information on hand as well. All right, questions. We're a short and simple webinar today, ladies and gentlemen. So I do appreciate your time. And I kind of want to just take some time from here on out to answer any questions that you may have about the service. All right.
Hi.
Got some in the chat.
Yes, hi everybody. I wanted to business development manager for Cami Vision, Cami Care. We have some questions that are already addressed through the chat, so maybe we could go through those one by one. And if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and type that in the chat so we could have an order of how those questions will be addressed, please.
Thank you, Kai. Appreciate you.
Yes. So for the first one, maybe I could take the first one, guys.
Yep.
Just a little brief background information about myself. My name is, again, is Kai. A little background about myself is that I have been with Cami Care for a few months now. I joined Cami Care for one of the main few reasons of helping spearhead this project, making sure that all relevant questions have been answered, everything has been touched upon. Myself, I have been in the senior industry for the past 10 years before coming on board with Cami Vision. I ran 3 assisted living communities. I used to be an executive director for 3 assisted living communities with 100 bed plus, including memory care as well as assisted living and independent living. After that, I've also managed a home care agency as well. So we manage seniors at home, sending our caregivers there as well. So definitely have my fair share of our experience inside the senior industry. And just to kind of emphasize on what Stephen had kind of mentioned in the presentation is that it's so important to understand the reasoning of when a fall occurs and the reason why a fall occurs, and what our solution is kind of intended to do is, as time goes on, if the user is able to see the post and the pre-fall videos, we could kind of establish somewhat of a pattern. That is kind of the goal in this, is to see, if there's something that is triggering these falls that kind of happen, we want to be able to, give our seniors the advantage to kind of prevent as much as they possibly can for any future falls that happen. I can't stress how many times I've had numerous conversations with families about, the effects of a fall happening. And a fall is usually kind of I want to say almost the gateway, in a sense, where many things do follow along after a fall. And that's not for all falls, but obviously for the ones that are more detrimental and traumatic to the seniors. Some of those things could be depression. We're looking at when somebody falls and if they end up having to, break a bone in their body or something like that, going into a rehab center for many months. There's a lot of mental health issues that kind of set on after that as well. Finances, having a fall, having somebody to come into your home to take care of you afterward, community. So these things are all kind of triggers that kind of may follow after a fall does occur. So we want to be able to kind of help minimize those risks as much as possible. So that's a little bit of information about myself. And to kind of address that first question from, looks like it's for Jeanette. So if one falls outside, Cami won't know. So that question is, just to clarify, I understand that question is being asked if somebody, let's say, falls in in their backyard, Cami Care solution pick up that fall? Is that what you're asking, Jeanette?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So as of right now, our solutions are going to be designed for indoor use. However, there is going to be a, I want to say like a frame within that frame of where the solution is able to kind of visually see the individual. So let's say, for example, if you have a camera that is pointed out the window within a certain area, within certain feet distance-wise, that's outside, that would be able to cover that solution. But if it is, let's say, for example, 100 feet or 200 feet away from the house at this current time right now, we do not have a solution that will cover the outdoors. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and my follow-up question further down was then, would one need to have several cameras or several sensors in order to pick up different areas of the house?
Yes, so we've kind of done a little bit of research, actually a lot of research on as far as where we would see the hot spots of those, I guess, fall zones, you would call it, inside a typical residence of a senior. There's a few different areas that have been identified, for instance, like the bedroom, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, at the bottom of the stairways. Some people have mentioned the bathroom. So what we would suggest is that, when the product does go onto the market, it would be as a kind of like a fall detection package deal, in a sense where, depending on how many areas of coverage and depending on how large your home may be, that would be something that for the user to kind of determine. I want to say that on an average wise, to be able to have the reliability and also the efficiency of the coverage would be probably about three cameras plus per home.
So what we're going to actually do, Jeanette, is we're going to send them in packs of 4 sensors. So you can have up to 4 sensors with that one pack, and you then choose those areas of concern for you. And I think it's really good as well to test places as well. If the cameras are so easy to use. I see a question by Alice P. How is it powered? So they are powered. Just you plug it into a wall, so you can just move it to another outlet if you want, and find a better positioning. It's really the way it works with these sensors is it's catered to you, what works best for your needs. So you can place them in all kinds of different places.
All right, Stephen.
All right, next question from Alice P, which I did kind of touch on a little bit. How is it powered? What about electrical power failure or internet problem? That's a really great question. As our cameras are powered by outlet, you plug it in and it does require internet connection. So that's a really great question, and I'm going to actually follow up with my team to get the best answer from our perspective on solutions and overcoming that. So I'm going to get your information, Alice P, and I will follow up with you directly to answer that question. All right, next from Burke Dillon. Do you have people monitoring? Can they call EMS? So we do have a 24/7 monitoring solution that comes as part of our subscription offering. And again, that's a really great question. I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging to see the exact timeline of when that will actually be integrated. But that is the ultimate goal, is to have it be you have the ability to connect to a pro monitoring service that you can then give them access to your footage on an event basis, where they can check in and bring help, to signal for help, right? As that is what their service is for. And then another from Burke Dillon. Does it give visuals only after it detects a fall? That's another really great question. So how it works is it's constantly recording on a loop. It's never saving data. And then when that fall is detected, it backs up a little bit. And so you can have the pre-fall event leading up to what happened, and then the post-fall video footage as well. And that pre-fall video Kai was touching on as well, that pre-fall leading up to the event is vital information that can help you mitigate risks in the future. And so that's why we have that where it backs up a little bit and then kind of gives you an understanding of the event instead of just a post-fall where you see them on the ground. It's the data is valuable, but not as valuable as the event leading up to it. So we do include the pre-fall video. All right, how do you address privacy concerns from Pat Sneller? That is a really, really great question as well. So first and foremost, all data, any data that does get stored, if there is an event, it is all stored in the region that you are located. So North America. And we have strict encryption on all of our video footage so that I'll have to double check on this one, but I don't think we don't even have access to your footage. It is all encrypted and it is only available to the people that it is given permission to view. All right. Kai, you want to take the next one?
Okay, so the next.
Dave.
Yes, for Dave, can the system be manually triggered? I wanted to make sure that I clearly understand this question. Dave, can you go ahead and elaborate on this question, please? Okay, maybe we could just get an idea. Can the system be manually triggered in a sense where the system right now, it's the way that it's designed is that the sensor is the AI inside the sensor is picking up a change in pose position of the individual that's within the frame. So I guess the short answer to that question is going to be no. The system is going to be, it's designed in a way where once it's on and set up, is that if an individual that is in the frame of that sensor has a change of pose position into a fall position, that is when the system is triggered automatically. And that's when the signal is sent. And
I'm just going to make an assumption, Dave. It kind of sounds like you're inquiring if like a button to me, if you press a button, that's manually triggering the system to send out an alert. And so we like to think of all of this stuff as supplementary to each other. You can use multiple systems to maximize your potential, right? So it can't be manually triggered, but there are solutions out there that do manual triggering. We are trying to avoid that type of manual trigger by passively monitoring. So the alert doesn't have to require any action by an individual. It just, the event is what triggers the alert.
Okay. All right, on to the next question from Jeanette. Would one need more than one sensor for additional rooms? Yes, so this goes back to our previous discussion, is that they do come in a kind of like a pack of together in a sense where depending on how big your home would be and how much coverage you would like, you would need to have one sensor in each area, hotspot area of what a potential fall would happen to cover that specific area. Now the sensors are wide angle, so they do have a good amount of actual coverage per sensor. We do ask the setup of the sensors to be mounted approximately about 6 to 8 feet above ground, and the sensors do coverage. My understanding is about 20 to 25 feet outwards. So that would be the scenario as far as how the system will operate to its full potential.
That's really fascinating. The other question I just asked, if I can just stick it in here.
Sure.
It's fascinating that it picks up a fall. So I'm wondering if I'm sitting on my living room couch and I decide to get up and get onto the floor to do some exercises, is it going to pick that up as a fall? Or does it have to be a quick, jerky kind
Right.
of thing?
That's a great clarifying question, Jeanette, actually. So it's if you go from sitting down, from sitting to the floor to exercise, it will not pick up as a fall alert. It is a sudden going from standing to fall, and sudden and unexpected pose change from standing to laying that then triggers that fall. We've trained it for all these different positions, working it through people going from sitting to lay, and trying to give it the best, help it learn, really, right? Help it learn and understand what we're looking for.
Yeah, and Jeanette, just to add to that again, is that there will be an option in the system where it allows the user to set exclusion zones within the frame.
Right.
So what that means is that, like, let's say, for example, you have a sensor that is inside the bedroom. You choose to put one inside the bedroom. You know, everybody goes to sleep in their bed, hopefully, at the end of the night. You know, laying down in your bed, hopefully, you know, we don't want to have any false alerts that trigger that, saying that that's a fall. So what one would do is they would be able to set an exclusion zone around the bed of, you know, the bed of the individual. So when that person does lie down, the system won't think that somebody fell. Now, if that person gets out of their bed and makes their way, let's say, for example, to the restroom at 2 a.m. in the morning, and on the pathway to that restroom, they happen to trip over something and have a fall, that would be something that would be triggered from the sensor, given that that pathway is not in the exclusion zone.
Great.
Okay.
All right. And then let's see here. I see a couple questions about what are the costs after the pilot is done. That is something it's another really great question. We're still deciding that internally. So it's going to be affordable. It's not going to be an exuberant cost. If you do decide to continue after the pilot, you get to keep the sensor, so there's no cost associated with that as well. And again, that'll be something we address closer to the end of the pilot. And we'll of course keep everyone in the loop. And the ultimate goal is to make sure you guys have a really, really good subscription price. All right, another question from Burke. Could we put in our village newsletter a blurb about the pilot and a link for people to watch this program or something similar if they might be interested, i.e. not just website about the firm, but something about the pilot project? I love that idea, Burke. I think that's an incredible idea. I would think we would have to maybe chat with Travis a little bit about the possibility of that, but we would really, really love to put another little blurb, link people with information on how they sign up, include this webinar so that they can watch this themselves, get an understanding, and make an informed decision on whether or not they want to participate. So I think that's an excellent idea. All right. Let's see here. Can it deal with emergencies that don't involve a fall? I was saved by my button when my artificial hip came out. I never fell. I was standing the whole time. Ooh, I am sorry to hear that. That does not sound fun. I'm gonna have to do, it's another really great question. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of following up. So we're actually in research and development right now where hand gestures, you can do specific hand gestures to signal the alert. That is still in research and development, but as we continue down and evolve the solution, the more and more usability features and things we will add to improve the overall experience for everybody so that the solution is comprehensive. All right.
Okay, we got a question. Looks like Burke, you have a few different questions. There's one specific question in regards to the size of the home as well. What we could do is we could get back to you directly on that in regards to your specific situation.
I think you've answered it. You just get 2 kids or something.
Yes, that's correct. That would be the idea behind that. So depending on how much coverage that you're looking for and how big somebody's home is, going from like a 900 square foot condominium to like 3,000 square foot, home, that would just really depend on the user and where you see those hotspots to be, that you think that, somebody would be falling either for yourself or for a family member. Okay. All right, Stephen. So the next one looks like we have another question. We have a question from.
I think the next one is from Jack Cumming,
Yeah.
Kai. How does the system work? Yeah, this would be a good one for you.
Okay. How does the system work in a boarding care environment in which there are half a dozen older people gathering together in public areas? Okay. So there's a few different ways of how this will work. And boarding cares are, residential care facilities as for at least for in the industry is kind of their definition. Depending on how big it is, I guess boarding cares. I've seen boarding cares as small as 6 beds, and then they could go up to a little bit more to maybe 12 beds and such like that. There can be in a system it designed that's work exactly the same as how it will work inside a personal home in a sense. So who will monitor that? I guess that's the main question. Depending on the administrator that's there, depending on the staff members that's there, if there's a care team member that takes care of the facility's care of the residents' well-being, they could be the one to kind of manage that, or they could set somebody else to be able to manage that, where they would need to be able to have access to the program, and as well as depending on how many areas that there's a sensor needs to be set up for. And then the question's asking if there's a dozen older people that are gathering together in public areas. Well, whenever the people, depending on the people that are in the frame of the sensor. So anybody that's in the frame of the sensor, and there's a person that has that change of pose position in the frame that has a fall, that would be the trigger of the alert. So it wouldn't change in a sense where there's multiple people in the frame. The sensor would be able to pick up the individuals that are going to be inside the frame. However, it will still rely on the actual change of pose for any individual in that frame to have a fall to be able to trigger the alert. Hopefully that answers the question. Jack?
It does. I was curious if it differentiates among individuals. So it sounds like if in general, if you've got a group and it detects a sudden change of pose, motion, it alerts somebody to respond.
Right. Whoever's that's designated and assigned to that specific account during the setup would receive the alert. So like I say, a lot of this would depend on the size of the organization. I've seen boarding care, 6 homes are usually kind of like a mom and pop kind of establishment where they have awake staff 24/7. They'll have usually either the administrator there, or they'll have a head nurse there that will run the place. I would say that they would probably be the go-to person to have the ability, the administrative privileges to get the alerts. Or they might want to set in their care circle, let's say, for example, like other caregivers that are on duty as well, or depending on however they want to do it. But there needs to be pretty much like a primary point account person to be assigned to the care circle. And if any kind of a motion of a pose change that triggers a fall, the primary will receive that alert.
That kind of leads into Jeanette's next question is, what kind of alerts does your care circle receive? A text or a phone call is another really great question. And actually, so they'll receive both text and an email. If they have the app, they will receive an in-app notification as well. They actually do not need to download the app to participate in your care circle. We will send them a link to the video as well in the text and email. There's, of course, advantages of having the app downloaded by your care circle with that 2-way audio feature and just being able to kind of view the feed as well. So that is how we alert. We do text and email. The text and email will include a link to the fall. And if they have the app, they will also receive an in-app notification where they can click on it for the fall, and if necessary, use the two-way audio communication.
Wow, that's great. In other words, download the app, they don't necessarily have to see you falling. They can just get an alert that it seems like your person fell.
Correct.
So that would help with the privacy issue that
But
we're all kind of wondering about.
But it will have a link to that fall, so they will only get the fall event. They will have a link that pulls up that video.
Oh, okay.
So it does have that, and we are. I see there's another question from Burke about areas of concern in the shower as well. Privacy is king or queen, and so is to kind of address that area of concern with the shower. There's different things we can do. We can blur out the person. We can do all kinds of different things that address any sort of privacy in that matter as well. So we'll have to kind of, and that's a really great point actually, Jeanette, that maybe you don't want them to see the fall, you just want them to receive the alert. So let me talk with our team here and see if that's a possibility.
Yeah, something that would just say, we've picked up what looks like possible fall. You might want to check,
Right. Right, they're like almost like there's layers of notification, right? Where you can, this person's just a bottom layer. That's actually a really great suggestion, and that's why we want to talk to you guys.
Hey.
Because you're in the field, you're living, right? You're living this concern. And so we want information from you that's going to help us better the experience. And that's actually a really, really great suggestion, Jeanette. So let me talk with the team here. I know they're listening as well, and we'll see what we can do.
Wonderful.
All right. So then looks like that last question we have is from Nancy Healy. In addition to your care circle, does it automatically notify 911 in your area? So during the pilot, it'll just be basic to your care circle. But again, we have pro monitoring services that you can sign up for as well, that will act as like that middle person between 911, where they have all your data stored and they initiate the 911 emergency response. So that is the overall goal. And what I imagine many people will do once we launch is attach a pro monitoring service to this. And so it is a possibility during the pilot. It is to the care. I just wanted to clarify that the hand gestures we are working on, that is in research and development still, and is actually not a part of the pilot, but it is kind of the path we're going. So you could probably expect to see that down the road.
Stephen, I have an Apple Watch which does notify 911. So they would kind of work together, right? I mean, they wouldn't actually work together, but it would cover all the different things if I had the Apple Watch, which automatically does that. And then this would be my care circle.
Right. So that's a really, really, really excellent perspective and point, is that they supplement each other, right? Yeah. Like that Apple Watch is supplementary to this. It's using all the tools available to you to maximize the success of successful.
Thank you very much. That's a great point.
No, thank you for bringing it up. It is. I don't want to bash any other solutions. They all have a validity for people. So really, the more you can incorporate into your system of care, the more likely you are to have a successful intervention. And that is the point, right? Is to call attention to this quickly and bring help quickly, right? All right. Do we have any more questions? Well, I just wanted to thank everybody again for their time today. And we really, really appreciated your questions were amazing already.
Stephen, Burke's got a
A
question.
lot of great data, so thank you.
We got one more question from Burke.
Oh,
Are
we
you going to
do.
be sending out more information through the Village to Village network?
Yes, we will. We're going to work with
That's going to
Travis.
be how it's come through Village to Village.
Correct. So we're going to work with Travis to get all the information. We're going to send him this presentation as well, so you guys have it. This is being recorded, and we will kind of we'll talk with Travis about just a little blurb in the Village to Village about where they can go and how they can participate.
Will there be anything sent to the particular participants of today about how they would sign up for it directly? I mean, can we expect to get a follow-up or just go through Village to Village?
I think so. It's my understanding that we will not get any of your contact information as a result of this. So it would have to be through the Village to Village, or if maybe just reach out to Travis and say, hey, or you can again email me directly at Stephen with a V at camivision.com, and that's how we can communicate as well. Well, awesome. Again, I thank you all so much for participating today. It was an incredible experience. We were so thankful to be able to have this time and ask you to participate in our pilot. We look forward to seeing you in our Cami Care Fall Alert System pilot.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Travis. You have a great rest of your day. I'll be in touch.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.